Our top story this morning, following his son's visit, President Donald Trump is coming to Montana. His trip was confirmed by a White House deputy press secretary. The White House says the commander-in-chief will be in Great Falls on July 5th. Montana is a battleground state, and the president is hoping to gain support for GOP candidates Matt Rosendale and Greg Gianforte. Trump was last in Montana during his presidential campaign when he stopped in Billings back in May of 2016. An event page with details about the president's visit to Great Falls was available, but was pulled down for an unknown reason about 15 minutes after it went live. Now on the national front, the gunman who opened fire inside the office of the Capital Gazette newspaper in Annapolis, Maryland, yesterday is being charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder. Police say the gunman, 38-year-old Jared Ramos, explicitly targeted the newspaper, killing 5 people. Officers say he used a shotgun and was carrying smoke grenades when he was apprehended. Journalists at the Gazette are forging ahead with publication today, saying it's what their colleagues would have done. And the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention have identified a source of E. coli contamination in romaine lettuce from the Yuma growing region. Investigators found the same strain in local canal water. They also found additional strains in water and soil samples, but none that matches the outbreak. In court news, the man charged with killing former Bighorn County Sheriff William Joy is also facing homicide charges in Asheville, North Carolina. Donald Gray Jr., a transient from North Carolina, abducted and stabbed Joy to death earlier this month, claiming he needed a car. He had only been in Billings for about a week and was looking for a way back to North Carolina. The new charges stem from a missing woman case from May. A body was found on May 28th in Junction City, Kansas. However, the body was in such bad condition, its identity was not immediately known. The body was later identified as 59-year-old Tamra Ann Gibson. She was reported missing on May 24th from Asheville, North Carolina. Her car was found burned in a case of arson in Laramie, Wyoming on June 1st. Gray is now facing charges of kidnapping, robbery, and first-degree murder in the death of Gibson. He is still being held at the Yellowstone County Detention Facility. Updating you on a story you first heard here on Montana this morning. Billings police are searching for the 2 suspects who broke into city property. Police Chief Rich St. John says one of them pointed a gun at an officer's face. The 2 men, dressed all in black, entered the fenced area around the police department evidence facility on Midland Road early Thursday morning. The first officer on scene was checking the fence when he came face to face with the 2 men. They were ordered to stop and show their hands, but instead one of them pointed a gun at the officer. The officer retreated and called for assistance. Surveillance video showed the 2 men fled through a cut in the fence before police could contain the scene. Police Chief Rich St. John says the suspects did not gain entrance into the evidence building and nothing was taken. Neither suspect has been identified. Missoula police have identified the assailant from a shooting that took place at Sentinel High School last weekend. They are actively looking for 17-year-old Dylan Curtis Connett and believe he may be armed and dangerous. The department says Connett was possibly seen in Missoula County after the shooting, but can't confirm that or his current whereabouts. Both victims are from western Montana, are still in the hospital, and their current condition is unknown. The Missoula Police Department cannot confirm the connection between the victims and the shooter. Continuing our coverage, in an 86-11 vote, the U.S. Senate has passed its version of the Farm Bill. This all comes before a week-long recess for senators. Now, with 2 versions of the bill available, the House and Senate must resolve any major issues between their respective bills before the September 30th deadline. The biggest difference is what to do with the SNAP program. The House bill would require able-bodied adults without children under the age of 6 to work a minimum of 20 hours per week in order to keep their benefits. The Senate bill avoids any changes entirely. Right now, the White House supports the House's version more, but has not rolled out the Senate's bill quite yet. Geotechnical experts have confirmed areas adjacent to this week's rock slide on the Billings rims are unstable. Those results come from environmental engineering service Terracon. A deeper investigation by the city is ongoing, and action won't take place until after their assessment is complete. Because of those concerns, the Billings Fire Department has asked residents of the two homes seen in this video to evacuate. We're told one family has left, and the person living at the house most damaged is staying. Glacier National Park continues to set attendance records, and it doesn't look like it's going to slow down anytime soon. But with growth comes concern. MTM spoke with park officials for this week's Face the State to see what they are doing to make visitor experiences as convenient as possible this summer.
Growth is usually a good thing, but it can bring drawbacks. At Glacier National Park, officials are trying to find new ways to keep it under control. The park set records last year with over 3.3 million visitors. Even one of the worst fire seasons in the state's history wasn't enough to stop it from beating the park's previous record, set only the year before, at just over 2.9 million visitors. Tourism Executive Director Racine Freedy says the power of social media has helped as a tool to keep visitors informed on current conditions and possible delays.
Our visitors, for the most part, are not seeing any negative impacts from this. Again, it's all about managing expectations, and when you're talking to them and warning them about some of the things they need to look for, they anticipate that and they work that into their trip.
Park Superintendent Jeff Mao says the park has explored many possibilities to help address park overcrowding, including a reservation system for smaller areas of the park that were constantly at capacity last year.
We won't do a system-wide or park-wide reservation system. I really think we'll look at sort of reservations at those congestion areas. You know, that's not something we could do at Bowman Lakes, not something we could do at Logan Pass, but we could sort of experiment with that. And like our campgrounds, half of it's by reservation, half of it's first come, first serve, trying to find that right balance.
Mao says the shuttle service the park offers now has been a huge hit with guests and is often asked if they would consider going to a shuttle-only system for popular areas like going to the Sun Road. But he adds a study that the park did shows that adding that would be difficult on through roads like going to the Sun.
Shuttle systems work great if it's one way in, one way out. Our current shuttle system is really pretty maxed out just in terms of ridership. You know, our ability to add shuttles to it, there's the whole issue of the cost of operation, cost of ownership. It really makes it pretty difficult for us to just add buses and think we're going to fix the problem.
Freedy says when it comes to traveling to a popular spot like Glacier, planning is everything, and encourages anyone who plans to visit this year to stay informed.
We're so proud of Glacier National Park, but we really want people to think ahead. We want them to pay attention to what's going on and do your research. But we as locals want to enjoy it just as much as our visitors.
And they're expecting another big year, already setting a monthly attendance record just this May. Don Fisher, MTN News.
And to see the full interview, join Dennis Bragg this Sunday, July 1st on Face the State as he dives deeper into all things Glacier National Park at 6:30 a.m. and 9:30 a.m. right here on Q2.